programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. So, just hopping right into it, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Skeletor figure that just came out. A few things to go over with this guy actually, but first, because I'm trying to be, proper here, we'll look at the box. There's a big picture of Skeletor here. There's a bio, because apparently someone still doesn't know who Skeletor is. Here's the other figures from Wave 1. Worth mentioning, the friend who hooked me up with Skeletor has also ordered me an Evil Lyn. That's supposed to be here later this week. We will see when she gets here and when I can get a video out, but this is the only other figure, at least for the foreseeable future, I'll be looking at from this wave, or this entire line, frankly. Mattel, blah, blah, blah. Here's how you can throw this away. On the bottom, I did find it a little funny that it's one figure and accessories. They don't even bother trying to tell you how many accessories. I know it's because it's just a generic box, but I still find that a little bit funny. Just that's how my brain works. But yeah, here we have the Masterverse Skeletor figure. And this thing is really, really cool in a lot of ways. Worth knowing for anyone who hasn't found this out already, but these guys are actually 7-inch figures as opposed to the 6-inch figures of the, new for 21s. So this guy is a little bit bigger than your others. To me, that's perfect because I do want Skeletor to be taller than anyone else on the shelf, so that works great. Yeah, I love the face sculpt there. I think on mine they technically overdid the wash effect, but I'm not going to complain because I love the way it made the effect look. Really nicely sculpted all over. Actual fabric cape, which, always a bonus. Got a really, really nicely done staff, too, actually. And I appreciate he can hold it with both hands. That's something not enough figures that come with staves like this can do. So that's all good. But then we'll go ahead and start getting into the whole posability thing. I can get him to let go of the stick. And posability is where he starts having just a few minor issues, but one major one that seems to be pretty widespread. So, head is on a ball joint, a little bit of side to side rotation, some down, some up. It's a little hampered because of this piece sitting here on his shoulders, but pretty good range of movement there. Shoulders rotate there. Would be a full 360 if this wasn't in the way. Moves out. There is a bicep rotation. He's got a double jointed elbow, so if you can get in here and get it to move, it moves really well. But here we have kind of our first issue. I can't even get it to move. Yeah. And I popped his hand out in the process. Yeah, some of the joints are a little too tight. They just, this is a figure that's supposed to have double jointed elbows, but I cannot get this second joint to move, no matter what I do. It is very clearly a second piece. So unless there's some molding shenanigans, and that's not really a joint, even though it's molded like a joint, he really just ends up having the one elbow joint. So you at least still get the, basic, 90 degrees you would want at least. Rotation at the wrists, and there is a joint there so you can get some back and forth as well. Ball joint here at the torso, which is always a nice inclusion on these type of figures. Gives them some twist and ab crunch and stuff. There's a very mold breaking joint right there. And then we get to the biggest problem on this guy is his hips. So he's got those sort of soft, stopping points in his legs here. And you'll notice I've got him in kind of an A stance. That's because I can't get his legs to actually straighten out. The little pegs up here that the leg actually connects to, it would rather bend the peg ever so slightly instead of letting me get past that stopping point to put his leg straight. So, and I've seen tons of this figure with that problem. I'm sure eventually I'll get it to go in, and at some point, I might be able to wear it down a little bit so it's not a hassle like this. But it shouldn't have been a hassle to begin with, I'm not going to lie. So this, whatever that peg is made out of, it should have been something stiffer so that it didn't just flex and do that. Because it looks like one of those figures where I'm supposed to be getting an action feature by squeezing the legs together. So, a few points off there, actually, but he can kick out. This piece is soft rubber, so it can move, or soft plastic at least. You can kick forward, sort of kick back. There's a rotation right there in the thigh. Again, he's got the double jointed knees, but it's incredibly tight to actually get him to move. You can actually make them move, unlike the wrists on mine, though, so there's that. There's a joint hidden right here beneath the shin guard. Feet can go up, down, rotation, and a peg in the bottom. So, overall, his articulation is not bad at all. But the way it's executed leaves a little bit to be desired, which is definitely a bummer. Accessory-wise, obviously he comes with the stick. He also comes with, I guess this is Evil Lynn's changing staff or something like that. I couldn't tell you. I know of, Masters of the Universe, but I'm not super in deep with it. So I will not get all the references. But he comes with two sticks. This wrist is a little loose on mine, unfortunately, so I have to make him hold the stick on the ground as I knock him over, because, hey, guess what? When you can't straighten the legs out, you can't get his pose to work the way it should. Stand up, stupid. Like, he's deciding to act way worse now that he's on camera, because of course. Anything that's not, mildly an issue, as soon as the camera goes on, huge issue. Anyway, yeah, he comes with the other stick, and he comes with alternate hands. You get a punch for his right hand, and you get an open hand for the left. And if I remember right, the open hand is actually the one that comes on, but I've got him switched over to the grabby hand because you can negate any possible, soft wrist joints by making him hold the stick with both hands. And it looks really cool when you do. So, I mean, overall, yes, this is still a really cool figure. I've seen some people that did not have this level of, overly stiffness and, leg joints that won't pop back in and go straight. Kind of just a beware thing that we're getting QC issues, and they're not the QC issues we normally run into with figures. I've also seen a few, people finding this guy new in the box, missing this little shoulder piece. So, make sure he's got his shoulder piece if you pick this guy up. But yeah, overall, it is still a really cool figure. It looks great. I'm not going to sit here and knock it too much. And again, I'm sure over time those joints, I can somehow get them loosened up and get them moving again. So, I do still give this guy a recommendation. He looks great. And let's face it, with figures, 90% of if you want it is if it looks good. He definitely looks good. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time! Yeah!